Guys, and welcome back to the mental health series on Chat with Lulu. So on this episode, we are talking about major depressive disorder. Depression is something that a lot of people go through, and for whatever reason, and it's very common, it's very famous. So we just brought it to your screen today so that you have more knowledge, you have more insight about it. If you've ever gone through it before, you're going through it now, like you
know how to handle it. I know that you're not alone.
Yeah. And here is Mary again. This is Mary.
Hi.
So Mary, tell us about depression. Tell us about major depressive disorder.
Okay, depression in layman's term again is just the intense feeling of sadness, of hopelessness. Like it's like a deviation from normal to abnormal. So if you're someone that normally you're a very bubbly person, you go out, you chill, and all of a sudden you now notice that okay, I'm feeling sad, I don't have interest in things I normally used to have interest in, I feel weak, and then normally that's not how it used to be before. So these are some of the signs and symptoms of depression. Yeah.
So it's just like moving from your normal to like a very sad state and stuff here. So what could be like the possible causes? What could cause depression?
Okay, cause of depression, at times it can be genetic. Okay. So if you have a parent who has depression, there's a high chance that you have depression. And then it can be caused by trauma. And this trauma most of the time is not just one trauma. It's like multitude of trauma. So if many things happen to you at the same time and you don't just know how to navigate or cope with it, so this can happen. And sometimes for no reason it can just happen. So they really don't need to have a stimulus or a stressor for you to have it.
And then like how long, I would like, this is just like something we'd like to know. So how long do you have to have these symptoms for you to be diagnosed with like major depressive disorder? Okay, for the doctors and the psychologists, they say it's 2 weeks. Yeah, but for some people it can differ, but the main thing is 2 weeks. What are the symptoms?
So like I was saying before, feeling of sadness. Yeah, so lots of interest in things that you normally should do, which can be also known as anhedonia.
So lots of interest can be maybe you like to party before and now you discover you don't like to party. You like people around you, and then all of a sudden now you want to be by yourself. People even irritate you when they come. So like that changed from what you were before till now. Yeah,
then you can have sleep disturbance. So if you're someone that normally used to sleep well, then now you find you cannot sleep again. Or someone that you don't used to sleep, like you don't like sleep, and then now you're not oversleeping
too much.
Then they have also the feeling of guilt, and this guilt is normally inappropriate guilt. So this guilt is normally like it doesn't make sense to the way they are feeling basically. And then they also have
and sorry, to add to that, guilt and like hopelessness, feeling of like hopeless, like you're in a hopeless state, that kind of thing. And this kind of thing can also land them in suicidal ideations, suicidal fear and stuff. So another thing of like eating
disturbances. So people that maybe they eat too much or they eat too slow. And you have also the
psychomotor
retardation or agitation. So these are people that for the agitation they're normally restless. If someone that normally you're calm, nothing moves you, then all of a sudden you're now restless, you pace a lot,
agitated, or retardation when you're slow. Concentration to energy, poor concentration, energy levels. You notice that you're being tired, like out of like the ordinary and stuff. So those are like signs of depression. And to diagnose it, like you need like 5 of it. But then if you notice any of it, please just like if you notice that change, just see your doctor. If you know somebody that. And
then the severity too can also determine how serious it is.
And if you know somebody that like if you see your friend, because a lot of times you yourself might not notice it, but someone else will notice it for you. So if you see it in your friend, you can talk to your friend about it and like tell them to see like a psychiatrist, a doctor or something.
Or be more engaging with them, like be there for them. Because most of them might not even need medication. They need like this psychosocial therapy. So you're just talking with them, taking them out, or them going for a walk, you know, the sunlight shining on them, like them seeing brightness, all these things. Like you won't even know, but they, you know, or the other, like change your mood, they do something to your body.
Feel better. Yeah, it makes you feel better.
Yeah, and before I forget, to children, their symptoms are normally different from those the adults. Normally for the adult, they feel sad, they feel hopeless, they lack interest, but children, most of the time, because they really can't communicate or they really can't say how they feel, they're normally irritable. They're normally people that when you touch them, they will like start shouting and be like, "Don't touch me," and all those things. So once you see those more symptoms in children, that okay, maybe your child is suffering from depression.
And it's like it's a change from normal. So the child was not like that before, and then now like you're seeing all these things. So what is like your advice if you know someone that is maybe going through depression, like major depressive disorder to be specific? So what's your advice to the person? To see a therapist? Like,
depression is something that is very common. Like sometimes it's what happens to the person next to you and you don't even know. So first of all, we should be very cautious or observant with especially our friends, with people around us, because most of them, like I said, they might not even need a psychologist. They need like for someone to like talk to them, someone to be there for them, and then if need be, then yes, they can now meet a psychologist that can help them with therapy, and then there are also medications too that can also help these people.
Depression is actually a disorder and it's something that can be treated.
So please get help.
Yeah, please get help. I'll talk about like another disorder that is very similar to depression, and the name of the disorder is like dysthymia. So Mary, please throw more light on dysthymia for us.
Okay, and for dysthymia, it's almost the same thing with depression. Just that for dysthymia is not as grievous, as severe as how depression is. So dysthymia the former name was chronic depressive disorder. So these are people that maybe for almost 2 years, 3 years, they have been feeling sad, and to them it's normal.
Now they are normal.
Yeah, it's now they are normal. So they won't even some of them won't even know that this is normal, because to them this is how they have been for a very long time. So a little things get to them, all this kind of stuff. But as opposed depression, they usually don't have much symptoms as those that have dysthymia.
Yeah, and then dysthymia is it's chronic, so that has become like their baseline, their new like level. Yeah, they now see it as normal. So we just wanted to let you know that such things exist. So if you know someone that is in this shoot, so encourage the person to see a therapist. You to be there for the person, because it's chronic. You might have like some. I feel like it's easier to get out of depression that was 2 weeks.
Yeah,
this time that has been 2 years and
because
stuff.
Then they see that okay, not normal.
So therapy is really needed. So see like a psychologist for that. And with this, we've come to the end of this video. If you have any questions, leave in the comment section. We will be there to answer it. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. All those nice things. Let's
read them.
You know the vibe. We'll be there to read. We'll be there to reply and stuff. So see you in my next episode. Bye.
I'm just your type.